Greetings and welcome to this commentated roleplay for the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind using the Rebirth mod alongside some modest additions that the Rebirth mod author recommends. So, what I thought I'd do initially here is just introduce a little bit about the character. The character I shall be role-playing is called Assemmus Timsar-Dadisun, and a little bit about his background now. So, his ancestors were lawkeepers within the Ashlander Dunmer Urshilaku Tribe. However, his ancestors were exiled, and over generations they migrated to the province of Cyrodiil. Assemmus lived a semi-nomadic lifestyle with his father in the province of Cyrodiil, his mother having passed at a very early age. His father was self-educated and instilled within Assemmus a deep love of knowledge and law. And this is an important point for my role-playing of Assemmus, is that he shall be highly curious about the world that he is travelling into, and that he shall, as a result, be engaging in plenty of discoveries and reading, and really just being a bit nosy. So once Assemmus's father had passed away, Assemmus had originally tried to stay within the province of Cyrodiil. Specifically, he tried to find work in the Imperial City dockyards. However, this was not successful, and that Assemmus got himself into trouble when, due to hunger, he stole a loaf of bread and was imprisoned, and later deported upon the ship in which the story begins. So that is a point-by-point synopsis of the background I have created for Assemmus. The roleplay rules, along with some optional additional rules, I have placed in the description column, as I usually do. But without further ado, let us begin this roleplay.
Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
Okay, let us type in our name. Assemmus Timsar-Dadisun.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go. Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Okay, thank you. Take care, Joe.
You better do what they say.
Thank you, I shall. Be a long time on this ship. I imagine that Assemmus would be keen to leave.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
Very well, as you wish.
On deck, now, prisoner.
Okay. No. Assemmus's first emergence into the province of Morrowind. The Varden form specifically, I believe. I wonder what he would be thinking. This land of his ancestors.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
Thank you. Take care.
Let's go. Move it along.
I imagine he would be fascinated by such a creature. Probably only having heard about it in stories from his father.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
Actually, we shall be playing as a dark elf. And I shall just consider for a moment the appearance, and I shall rejoin you once this has been completed. Select the appearance now of Assemmus. Going for more of a natural look, so to speak. But with some facial hair and some tattoos as well. You can see in terms of specials, Ashlander will have Protective Spirit to summon an ancestral ghost for 60 seconds himself. He is an Ashborn. Provides him a resist fire of 50%. Also resist common disease of 25%. And whose ancestors can offer their guidance and protection to him on occasion. Sanctuary 25 points for 60 seconds on himself. So, skill bonuses you can see. Athletics of 5. Destruction of 10. Light armor 5. Long blade 5. Marksman 5. Mysticism 5. short blade of 10. So, evidently Assemmus has some skill, relatively speaking, in destruction and short blade. But this is relative. Okay.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release. Head on in.
Thank you. A warming fire. But Assemmus would not be tarrying at this stage.
Ah, yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
So, let us go for answering the questions.
On a clear day, you chance upon a strange animal, its leg trapped in a hunter's claw snare. Judging from the bleeding, it will not survive long. What do you do?
Draw your dagger, mercifully ending its life with a single thrust. Use herbs from your pack to put it to sleep. Do not interfere in the natural evolution of events, but rather take the opportunity to learn more about a strange animal that you have never seen before. This is an interesting question. I believe that Assemmus, his curiosity may supersede his other inclinations, let's say. So perhaps this third option may be the most appropriate.
One summer afternoon, your father gives you a choice of chores. What would you rather do?
Work in the forge of him casting iron for a new plough. Gather herbs for your mother who is preparing dinner. Go catch fish at the stream using a net and line. Well, I don't believe he would be working in the forge, nor really catching fish. Perhaps gathering herbs, taking time to learn about those herbs as well. Let's go for this answer.
Your cousin has given you a very embarrassing nickname, and even worse, likes to call you it in front of your friends. You have asked him to stop, but he finds it very amusing to watch you blush. What do you do?
Make up a story that makes your nickname a badge of honor instead of something humiliating. Beat up your cousin and tell him if he ever calls you that nickname again, you will bloody him worse than this time. Make up an even more embarrassing nickname for him and use it constantly until he learns his lesson. Well, I see Assemmus not being a character that is particularly confrontational, favouring diplomatic means of solving conflict. So, either 1 or 3. Interesting. I do see him having a sense of honor, as that sense of honor is something important to his ancestral heritage. So I think maybe the first.
There is a lot of heated discussion at the local tavern over a group of people called telepaths. They've been hired by certain city-state kings. Rumor has it these telepaths read a person's mind and tell their lord whether a follower is telling the truth or not. You believe what?
In these necessary times, it is a necessary evil. Well, in these times, I should say, it is a necessary evil. Although you do not necessarily like the idea, a telepath could have certain advantages during a time of war, when finding someone innocent of a crime. Loyal followers to the king have nothing to fear from a telepath. It is important to have a method of finding assassins and spies before it is too late. This is a terrible practice. A person's thoughts are his own, and no one, not even a king, has the right to make such an invasion to another human's mind. Now, this is interesting as well. I believe, after consideration, that on balance, Assemmus would, although not liking the idea from a moral perspective, would see the advantages of this practice, and also, perhaps, or quite likely, in fact, find it of some intellectual interest.
Your mother sends you to the market with a list of goods to buy. After you finish, you find that by mistake a shopkeeper has given you too much money back in exchange for one of the items. What do you do?
Pocket the extra money, knowing that shopkeepers in general tend to overcharge customers anyway. Turn to the store and give the shopkeeper his hard-earned money, explaining to him the mistake. Decide to put the extra money to good use and purchase items that would help your family. Now, this is quite an interesting one. I don't believe Assemmus would be intentionally engaging in behaviors that are morally questionable, such as this. Understand that in the background synopsis I gave, Assemmus was originally arrested in Cyrodiil for stealing a loaf of bread. However, this was under due duress. Returning to the store, giving the shopkeeper his hard-earned money, explaining to him the mistake. Possibly. And certainly not the first, as that is quite similar to the third. So I think Assemmus would, on balance, return to the store and give the shopkeeper his hard-earned money, explaining to him the mistake. He would probably understand the hardships of life for shopkeepers, given his somewhat difficult background, surviving in Cyrodiil with his late father.
While in a marketplace, you witness a thief cut a purse from a noble. Even as he does so, the noble notices and calls for the city guards. In his haste to get away, the thief drops the purse near you. Surprisingly, no one seems to notice the bag of coins at your feet. What do you do?
Pick up the bag and pocket it, knowing that the extra windfall will help your family in times of trouble. Leave the bag there, knowing that it is better not to get involved. And pick up the bag and signal to the guard, knowing that the only honourable thing to do is to return the money to its rightful owner. I believe on balance that Assemmus would not wish to become too involved in a situation like this. So I believe the second answer would be most appropriate.
Your father sends you on a task which you loathe, cleaning the stables. On the way there, pitchfork in hand, you run into your friend from the homestead near your own. He offers to do it for you, in return for a future favor of his choosing. What do you do?
Ask him to help you, knowing that 2 people can do the job faster than 1. And agree to help him with 1 task of his choosing in the future. Accept his offer, reasoning that as long as the stables are cleaned, it matters not who does the cleaning. Or decline his offer, knowing that your father expects you to do the work, and it is better not to be in debt. Now for me, the point that supersedes all other considerations is the question of the father's expectation. I see that Assemmus, being a very dedicated son, and would be sensitive to the expectations of his father. So, option 3, we shall choose.
Your mother asks you to help fix the stove. While you're working, a very hot pipe slips its moorings and falls towards her. What do you do?
Push your mother out of the way. Grab the hot pipe and try to push it away. Position yourself between the pipe and your mother. Interesting. What would Assemmus do in this situation? I see that Assemmus, being, generally speaking, very respectful of his parents. So, if his mother had not passed at such a young age, I believe he would have been quite selfless in the situation by positioning himself between the pipe and his mother.
While in town, the baker gives you a sweet roll. Delighted, you take it into an alley to enjoy, only to be intercepted by a gang of 3 other kids your age. The leader demands the sweet roll, or else he and his friends will beat you and take it. What do you do?
Act like you're going to give him the sweet roll, but at the last minute throw it in the air, hoping that they'll pay attention to it long enough for you to get a shot in on the leader. Drop the sweet roll and step on it, and get ready for the fight. Give him the sweet roll now without argument, knowing that later this afternoon you'll have all your friends with you. Come and take whatever he owes you. So I don't believe that Assemmus would be entering into conflict, particularly in this situation, as he would be outnumbered. It is a little more savvy than that. So perhaps he would be a little bit more coy, leaving the situation, keeping his nose clean, but later taking some form of reprisal.
Entering town, you find that you are witness to a very well-dressed man running from a crowd. He screams to you for help. The crowd behind him seems very angry. What do you do?
Interesting. Rush to the man's aid immediately, despite your lack of knowledge of the circumstances. Stand aside and allow the man and mob to pass, realizing that it's probably best not to get involved. Or rush to the town's aid immediately, despite your lack of knowledge of the circumstances. Again, or to be consistent with previous answers, I would say that Assemmus would not be the type of character to get involved in these situations. So I believe he would be standing aside, keeping his nose clean once again. Interesting. A witch hunter. I wonder what this shall provide in terms of skills. Just accept this class.
Very good. The letter that preceded, you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Now, on to our selection of our star sign. I shall return after due consideration. After careful consideration, I have selected the mage as Assemmus' star sign. I believe that he would lean towards the use of magic rather than the use of other forms of attack or defense. I believe this also synergizes with his curious character. I believe that Assemmus is the sort of character who would be poring over books, really engaging in lore and trying to accrue knowledge, not necessarily for the purpose of harming others, more in the sense of just for developing knowledge itself. However, he would use it in the event of self-defense, as well as his dagger, or his skill in the use of the dagger as a last resort, but only as a last resort. So this provides us the following abilities. We have Bathe, fortify maximum magicka 0.5 times intelligence, and arcane concentration fortify willpower 10